Welcome to the discussion. My guest today, Vince Sotosanti, the Federal Principal Consultant for FirstNet at AT&T. Vince, welcome to the discussion.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Chris Algier, the Director of Federal and National Programs, First Responder Network Authority. Chris, welcome to the discussion.
Hey, thanks, Jason. Looking forward to the talk.
And Rob Patterson, the Senior Executive Director, Public Safety, AT&T. Rob, welcome to the discussion as well.
Thanks, Jason.
One of the things that I think people underestimate about FirstNet is the data. Everything is so much today based on data. What do we know? How do we know it? How do we use that data to make decisions? That's really the key here is the network, as you said earlier, is a platform. It's the superhighway of the data.
I'll use wildland fire as an example, right? So you have somebody from wildland fire saying, if you can save me 30 minutes, just save me 30 minutes, how much more effective can I be? Because you're talking about somebody who today has to travel from point A to point B. That may take them several hours or maybe 30 minutes to pick up a map that gives them the situation and current environment. Then they have to travel back to where they came from. Chances are, fast-moving fire, rapidly changing conditions, that map is outdated by the time they get back. So now, instead of having to do those types of things, you can push that information through a data device. They can start making decisions, save that time, and that translates into being more proactive, more efficient, and being able to really increase the security of your personnel in the field, but more importantly, to better serve the public and the lands and the things that you have responsibility for. So it's simple things like that.
Technology changes how that looks, right? Now you have someone else helping you do your job. You see that light go on in almost every customer as to like, hey, can I apply it this way? And it may be a little bit one-off, but the beauty of this is there's a lot of stuff that's designed that people just aren't aware of. You know, that fireman, that policeman may not be able to monitor their, exterior environment or their heart rate. But now you're using a platform to bring that back to whether it's a command center, some other type of thing where a person can be dedicated to look at that type of behavior and then alert the person. If I'm in the middle of a fire and my body temperature, my heart rate is too high, I may not know that. Now you have someone with situational awareness that can alert someone to that. And then when you get into the location type activity, right? Where is a person inside a building? Where is a person that's now taken off and is chasing someone on foot, right? These are all things that, it's hard, I think, for sometimes the public to understand. But it's hard to be chasing someone at the same time you're trying to tell people where you are because I'm focused on what I'm chasing.
The technology transfer is really important, right? So one of the things that the FirstNet Authority is looking at is we need to achieve economies of scale. Public safety can't afford, agencies cannot afford to be bleeding edge, cutting edge because it's expensive. So how do we more efficiently deliver the latest technology that's going to ensure that we have safe, efficient, and connected capabilities in operations, right? And so the FirstNet Authority and AT&T, we work very closely together to go find out where there's evolving technologies that with maybe some very minor modifications can be applied in a public safety environment to, again, go forward and increase the capability, to increase the safety of agents, officers, firefighters, emergency medical technicians in the field.
And to add to that, Chris, I mean, your other issue too is you think about like a typical drone feed, especially in the federal space. You have people that will respond to these natural disasters or other areas that don't know the area. I equate it to when you're up in a helicopter and you're viewing an area, I may be able to tell you what physically is there. But when you take that data stream and that video and overlay those data fields to it, to expand on what Chris just said, you now paint a full picture to that first responder as to not only what's going on in that situation where they can see real time, but here's the street, here's the house number, right? So you have a true situational awareness in an area where you can't get a data feed. It wouldn't be possible.
And before FirstNet, how did you guys deal with understanding that?
Accessing the information is critical, right? So the big thing that FirstNet's driving here is true reliability in terms of ensuring that data can pass. How we do that gets into one of the capabilities specifically that we refer to as priority and preemption. And unlike commercial space, FirstNet has priority and preemption that is truly built for public safety, right? To ensure that traffic can always pass. Priority that is simple, preemption that is simple, that is always on, that requires no action to be taken by the first responder, by the public safety entity. And that's the critical component here. That's what first responders have asked for.